Yo, what's up? Peace. I'm talk about man, snitching some more and some other things in regards to my lessons of on the nation of gods and earth, nation of gods and earth. Um, I recently discovered some things in regards to snitching and street mentality. Street mentality comes from being incarcerated. See, people need to get a working definition of what snitching is. And once you get a working definition of what snitching is, people will understand what they're doing when they sit down and tell on somebody. My opinion, based on the law enforcement and real street people's definition of snitching. Snitching is when you tell on somebody you are in concert with, cohorts, comrades, friends, associated, partners in business with, somebody you do your dirt with, illegal or legal, that you don't want to get out. Somebody somebody you down with, that you tell on to law enforcement or other people that's gonna, bring them trouble. Far as law enforcement is concerned, snitching is when you tell on somebody that you do a crime with, and you tell on them to get less punishment or not in trouble at all. That's what a snitch is. Victims cannot be snitches. If you're in a gang and it's rules to the game of gang banging as far as who get hit and who don't get hit, and those rules are violated, and you get the police involved. Well, because I heard, in gang banging, there is no police involvement. They don't like to fuck with the police. But but that's a rule, and it may be rules about hitting, parents, mothers and fathers, grandparents, and when those rules are violated, and the police get involved, and you tell the police that it was this doing, that was this dude, this, that, then, the rules have been violated all the way around, so that makes snitching null and void. But that's what a snitch is. The bad thing about the streets is that brothers bring their institutionalized, hardened way of thinking, that mentality, to the streets. See, I just recently learned over the weekend. I was watching this documentary on Netflix, How to Survive in Prison, and I was watching this this little 5-minute, 10-minute clip, I think it was on, I don't know, it was on YouTube or something, but it was the Atlanta jail, and they was talking about the Atlanta jail and the rules. And so I come to find that the rules in jail, you know, they have rules in jail, and the rules in jail is no snitching to the police or to the corrections officers, no snitching to the people that work in the jail. You know, you're not so. If you have a problem, you're supposed to take it up with the person you got a problem with. You know, and if you see something go down, and you know it ain't your business, don't tell the correction officers, don't tell the police inside the jail. You know, you're not supposed to do that. And so, you know, even if somebody beat you, stomp you, stab you, try to kill you, the rules are you're not supposed to tell nobody who done it or why. And so brothers bring that mentality back to the streets of don't tell the police no matter what. But I'm here to tell you that if you bring that mentality to the streets and somebody try to get you, you know, just rob you or jack you because when you went in, you know, you left money and cars and your clothes still was there for you. And so, you know, you get out and you get back fresh, you start rolling your whip around, and somebody try to jack you because they jealous, and you have to defend yourself, and everything you do is legal within the realms of the law based on your situation. And you kill those persons, those people, you know, what I'm saying is you shouldn't be scared to tell the police what happened, you know, because, you know, you are a victim, you know, that, and having a jail mentality like that will lead you back to jail. You know, if you just drive off or run off and don't say nothing, you have now committed a crime. You have left the scene of a crime. You are obstructing justice, and you know, they could turn that manslaughter charge to, I mean, that self-defense charge to something greater that could get you locked up because you left the scene and you aren't telling what happened, even though you were the intended target, the potential victim. All you did was protect yourself, your life, and your loved ones and your property. I'm not a lawyer or a police, but you know, I think that's, I don't think you snitching if you wait around and say this what happened. You know, brothers come out of jail gotta be smarter than that. This ain't no snitching. That's ridiculous. You're not in jail no more. And you know, shit like that, you know, can get you back in jail just for you being dumb, thinking on a jail level mentality. That's ridiculous. So, you know, that's all I wanted to say about that. You know, cats coming out of jail with that jail mentality gotta be smarter. You know, it's like, they want you to go back to jail and thinking how you thinking about no snitching. If you're a victim and you did everything right, you know what you're worried about. That's like being ignorant. You know, nation of God's on earth say you must establish a relationship with knowledge. Establish a relationship with knowledge. Know how to communicate and talk with people. And so this leads me into my next topic. My next topic I'm gonna talk about is the handling of people. Now I come across this topic in my studies. Father Allah, the founder of the nation of gods and earth, had a notebook or a book of notes that that they say he never got to complete the study and completion of. But it's floating around on the internet, some long-term gods have it. And it was his book of life. And he had other things he was studying besides the 120. And it was like yin and yang, why is water wet, why is the sky blue, why is the grass green, and who built the pyramids, how was the pyramids built. It was a lot of things he was trying to figure out. But one of those topics that he had in his book of life was how to handle people, or the handling of people. And it wasn't, so this is a language they used in 1965, in the 60s and the 30s, how to handle people. That doesn't mean how to physically control people, manipulate people, trick people. It simply means how to handle people. It's how to communicate with people to get them to see, or to get them to see what you're saying. The handling of people is knowing how to talk to people, knowing how to teach people of all walks of life, of all ages. It doesn't mean to forcibly impose your will. And so, knowing how to talk to people can get you a long way in life. Now, the nation of gods and earth says the same thing about speaking and articulating and pronouncing your words properly. They have a paragraph in their 120 in their problem book about the man that stammers, or the person that stammers. The person that stutters is speaking plainly, is speaking clearly. But that person that stutters, a person that stutters or stammers, will not be successful in life if they don't correct their stammering or stuttering. That's what the Nation of Islam says about speaking well. And they stress that each word out of a person's mouth must be pronounced properly. And so this goes into the handling or communicating with people in the right tone, in the right manner, in the right way. And some of that is just having respect for the person or for the person or people you're talking to, for yourself, and the topic that you are talking about. So, handling people don't mean, martial arts or being somebody else or telling somebody off. The handling of people is, we must be careful on how we treat and interact with each other. We all we got. And so, man, I've heard a lot of infighting in the with the gods and the earths and the Nation of Islam. And it's, ridiculous. Some of the most educated brothers, the most knowledgeable brothers, be bickering back and forth, and it's ridiculous. Like, for example, this man on YouTube calling himself Muslim God. Is he got a YouTube channel. Some Muslim God Network. What is it? MGN or MGK? Muslim God Network. Now I've heard the Nation of Islam say, you can't be a Muslim and a God. I heard the gods of earth say, you can't be a God and a Muslim. How can you be a God and pray to pray to a God, or pray to a mystery God, which the nation of gods on earth don't believe in. But he called himself checking the Caucasian 5% of Shine Love, and in my opinion, just my opinion, based on my education and experience, I just took a class on communication, and it's like 100 types of way to communicate, how to get information, how to give information, and this is management communication, communication in the workplace, in the real world, how to lead based on communicating. I just took a class, and in my opinion, dude was checking them. Sean Love said something. He was on YouTube saying something about how the devil, how he heard that Elijah Muhammad took out, or Farrakhan or somebody took out, the fact that the white man was grafted from the skunk. He said they didn't say that, they didn't use that or teach that anymore. And so, Fahim, that's the Muslim God Network, said, he didn't never hear nobody say they took out, the white man was grafted from a skunk. Did nobody tell him that? And so, he went on and on. And at the end of the thing, I was like, if Sean Love was like a violent dude, or, like a warrior type dude, he would have started a war. Fahim from the Muslim God would have started a war with this man based on how he was trying to correct him about the lessons being the same. I mean, he didn't cuss him, but how he was how he was talking to him and talking about him, I got offended. They're like, wow, this, it was like he was trying to start a beef with the man. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, man, that's ridiculous. I mean, man, he could have took that wrong, got in his car, went to go find Fahim. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, I was just like, that's what handling persons, we got to be extra careful nowadays with everybody, with the babies, with women, with other men. We don't know where other people coming from, and the goal is to teach one, each one teach one. And so if you're not careful, people not gonna receive your message if you're not careful in how you approach and how you talk to people. And then, come to find out, this other book I was reading, 120 Questions to Ask a 5%er. That's the name of the book. 120 Questions to Ask a 5%er. And in it, it just had me thinking that, talking about, the civilized people and the people in the jungle. And then it made me realize, black people have always been civilized. Like the Nation of Islam got civilization training, and we as 5%ers, we supposed to be not a savage in the pursuit of happiness, but a civilized person. It's our duty to civilize the savage and to become unsavage. And so that book had me thinking. I say, well, you know, black people ain't never been savages. You know, I mean, if that was the case, if we were savages, you know, we wouldn't have waited around till Abraham Lincoln freed us. You know, we wouldn't have stayed in slavery that long. So, you know, man, so I don't think we savages. And so the message, the purpose of the 120 and learning proper English and you know how to talk and pronunciate words and the definition of words and is to teach other ethnic groups, especially Caucasians. See, now, you know, we supposed to teach each other, the ones that don't know, but you know, black people for the most part aren't savages. We are victims. Our victims are products of America and its brutality and treatment of black people. So you know, man, yeah, man. So, you know, man, you know, so, you know, we just got to be careful with each other, you know. That's all I'm saying, you know. And, you know, leave the jail mentality shit in jail. You know, I can understand, you know, don't say nothing, no motherfucker try to take your head off. You know, leave your neck, leave your head hanging and you still alive. You got a damn, lock or whatever, got shanked in the face or whatever. And you know, the rule you're not supposed to tell, you got to keep that shit in jail. Because if you bring it outside of jail, in the regular world, in the real world, you know, you will find yourself going back to jail for obstructing justice. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to be smarter when you back out on the street. So, you know, that's all I'm saying, man. I'm out. Peace.